Governor Jack Markell is our first person this week. Governor, thanks for being here as always.
Thank you.
And we asked you to bring a prop to start this interview. This is a big chunk of concrete that you held up in your State of the State address. What's the story behind this?
Well, this fell from I-95 over the Brandywine River, and when this fell, we were just left with a few inches, I think 6 inches, between the roadway and the Brandywine River below. And so I did show this, in fact, at the State of the State. This all happened while the 495 thing was going on, so the timing was not very good. But we just have to make more investments in our roads and our bridges. And everybody agrees with that. Nobody wants to pay for it, of course, but at some point we're going to have to pay for it.
I mean, this is a significant chunk, and you know, that is not the only bridge, the only structure in the state that needs work. We're looking at DuPont Road, a bridge there being closed right now this week. What's the pitch? You sort of left it up to lawmakers to come to you with their ideas in the State of the State. What's the thinking behind doing it that way?
Well, let's put it this way. I mean, last year, as you know, I laid out a very specific proposal to generate $100 million a year. I proposed a 10-cent per gallon increase in the gas tax that would generate $50 million, and then another $50 million of borrowing. I'd be fine doing that again. No, not everybody seemed to be all that interested in that last year during an election year, but I look forward to working with legislators this year if they have other ideas. But the bottom line is other states around us are making these huge investments in transportation. You know, our gas tax is 23 cents a gallon, has not been increased since 1995. Pennsylvania's going up to 60 cents, Maryland's going up to 43.5 cents. The nice thing about a gas tax is it is a user fee. It's paid by those who use the road. But again, if others have different ideas about how to pay for it, I'll be very open to their ideas.
There was a Chamber of Commerce breakfast at the Queen a few weeks ago, and there was a Pennsylvania official there telling a story that it took them 4 years to get a gas tax finally passed. Do you think Delaware will have to wait that long?
I hope not.
Can we wait that long?
Well, I mean, in the meantime, other states are becoming more competitive with their transportation systems, and we're not. And as I've asked a number of real estate folks recently and businesses, do you really want to be in a state where your neighbors are making these big investments, their transportation systems are getting better, while your state's not? I don't think it's a good place for us to be, and I'm hoping that we'll find a way this year to actually generate some revenue for that fund. Does
it need to get to a point where somebody finally, besides you, kind of takes the lead on this? Somebody from the General Assembly? Who would that voice be? Well, in the end, of course, I do need enough votes in both the Senate and the House. I think it is important that folks in the business community speak up. Not just contractors who have something directly to gain, although they should be speaking up. I think, you know, generally, a modern economy needs a modern transportation system. It's not that complicated. And so either we're going to, you know, get with the program and figure it out, or we're going to fall behind, and that's the choice. It's not really. It's binary. It's one of those two things that's going to happen. One of the big transportation projects over the next several years is upgrades to the train station in Newark,
right.
Designed to attract businesses and I guess help folks there connect. How important is that to the Star campus, to the University of Delaware, to economics in Newark and I guess surrounding?
We think it's a great project. We're really excited by all the progress being made at the Star campus. If you think about what was there just a few years ago, an abandoned Chrysler factory, now, you know, there is rising. You've got the Bloom Energy manufacturing facility. You've got the healthcare campus of the university over there. You've got private sector companies like Sev1 moving in. It's really exciting, and this is the economy of the future. And to have it right next door to the University of Delaware is exactly what the economic development of the future is all about. Having the transportation linkage there, going to Maryland, going up to Pennsylvania is ideal. And so we're really excited about the opportunity to take this train station to the next level.
Is there a chance that commuter rail from Maryland will connect into Newark at that station and sort of bridge the gap between, I guess it's Newark and kind of Perryville, where there's a gap of commuter rail?
There are no guarantees, but it certainly would not happen without this kind of upgrade. But we'll be working on that. I mean, in the end, I think, you know, if there's demand, services come, and I think the kind of progress you're seeing at the Star campus makes it more likely that there will be that kind of demand.
In a previous visit here with us, you mentioned the chance of an Israeli company that was going to locate
right
there. And what's the progress on that? Is that going to happen?
It looks pretty good. I don't know that they've announced yet. I think they have, but I don't want to do it right here. I think they've already announced yet, but I think it looks pretty good.
Let's shift gears.
It's a small company, but we expect a lot of small companies down there. I mean, we're very excited about the growth of small business.
And that's kind of been your mantra, to replace the big Chryslers and GMs with lots of littles.
Yeah, we like them all. I mean, we like the big employers too. When we have a DuPont or the big banks or AstraZeneca and the like, those are really exciting too. But our economy needs tiny businesses, medium-sized as well as large.
Let's shift gears and talk a little bit about your plans to increase treatment for those dealing with drug addiction. Obviously, a widespread problem. Are the initiatives coming together as you've hoped? You talked about it a lot during the State of the State.
Right. So they'll come together if the budget is approved. This is a very difficult budget to put together. I really had one new initiative, and that was around addictions, about just over $4 million. And this is because we do see, frankly, a crisis across the country, and that crisis has hit right here in Delaware as well. We've made great progress over the last few years at limiting the abuse of prescription medication because of some policies we put in place, but essentially what happened, people moved on from there, and heroin is just now rampant. And we have somebody die of an overdose in Delaware every other day. Somebody's mom or dad or son or daughter every other day. And I have been so inspired by the family members of so many of these individuals. They formed a group called Attack Addiction. And I don't know how they have the courage to take what is an incredible personal tragedy, the loss of a child, and turn it into something positive by working together as a group and working with people in government and treatment and everything else to make sure that we devote the sufficient resources. And so we've put together a plan to try to fill in the gaps on some of the services, do a better job of education and prevention and early intervention. But we've got plenty to do. And this is one of those issues that knows no boundaries. It's not a Democrat or Republican issue. It's not a black or white or Hispanic or Asian issue. It's not a wealthy or poor issue. It's not a female or male. I mean, it's just, it cuts across all boundaries. And so this is something that I'm hopeful that people from throughout the state can get behind. I wish we didn't have to do it, but we do.
Also seems like one of those things that everybody kind of agrees that this is a problem and definitely needs to address, and then the hang-up is paying for it.
Yeah, and we brought together a pretty good coalition of interested people, including some of the family members I talked about, including people in the treatment field, including folks in law enforcement. A number of legislators took a really significant role in this. Representative Keeley and Mulrooney and Barbieri, Senators Henry and Hall Long really took an active step. My wife Carla, along with Secretaries Landgraf and Commissioner Koop. So and then we went out and we had a number of town hall meetings. We got a lot of input from the public, and we're hopeful that the plan we've put together makes sense.
A year ago, you were on WHYY FM with Marty Moscowain, and she asked you if you were in favor of legalizing marijuana. You said at that point you're going to wait and see the data before committing. Have you seen anything that kind of would sway you one way or the other in the past year?
I'm certainly willing to look at the decriminalization aspect. I am not in support of doing what they've done in Colorado or Washington State or a few other places, doing full legalization. And it's not going to happen while I'm governor. And maybe it may be the right thing, but I don't think we know. And I think we need to take a few years and see what the impact has been in some of these other states. This is why states are testing grounds. There are people in some of these states who think it's great. There are some people in these states who are really concerned about the impact. And I don't think we know yet. I think we know more today than we did a year ago, but I think we've got a lot more to learn.
Has the medical marijuana implementation gone sort of as you've thought?
It's coming. I mean, I think it obviously took a lot longer than people would have liked. That was because we put a halt on it a couple years ago based on, frankly, really inconsistent guidance from the federal government about who they might prosecute. But we are moving forward. We expect to be up and running within a few months.
Well, we have another minute. I want to get your reaction on the Democratic Convention coming 2016 to Philadelphia, something that Delaware can do to kind of generate economic benefit from that. Obviously, hotel rooms, I guess.
Yes, I think we should fill up a bunch of hotel rooms. Hopefully some people will be eating on many of our wonderful restaurants. It's a great opportunity for the region. Philadelphia is a great area. The greater Philadelphia, which includes us here in Delaware, is even better. And so we're excited for the whole region. We want to make sure that folks have a chance to come down and see much of what Delaware has to offer. And
Delaware sort of has a new campaign to get people to come down here, maybe some of those Democratic convention attendees, endless discoveries.
That's right.
Do you have a way to gauge kind of the feedback on that now that it's come out?
There are endless discoveries right here in Delaware. You know, the feedback so far has been positive. I think we'll have to you know, see how it plays out. You can't just announce a slogan. You've actually got to put some effort behind it, so we're going to do that. I think it does sum up a lot of what Delaware is about, but these things take time too.
Any chance we'll see a Governor Markell talent in those commercials, kind of a Delaware and you perfect together?
I don't know that anybody's put the word Governor Markell and talent when it comes to appearing in commercials or anything like that in the same sentence before, but thank you.
Yeah, you could ride your bike in the commercial
there you go.
all over
there
the state.
Yeah.
It'd be a perfect synergy there for
I'll
you.
have to think about that.
Governor Markell, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
You can find this first-person interview online at newsworks.org/Delaware.